Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be doing some sketches of Vi from Arcane today. I just finished the second season and loved her dark hair look and immediately became obsessed and wanted to draw her. I also realized basically what every other artist has recently realized, and that being that Arcane is an incredibly good art study tool. So I will probably be doing a lot of League slash Arcane art studies in the near future, and I will definitely be sharing that with you guys. Let me know in the comments if you've watched Arcane and if you enjoyed it or not. I'd love to hear your opinions and share thoughts about the story and especially the art. With all that being said, if you enjoy, please remember to leave a like and consider subscribing, and let's get into the video. Oh, and before anything else, I am sick, so if my voice sounds scratchy or anything, really sorry about that. Please disregard. I hope it's not too noticeable, but I'm trying to get this video out on schedule, so I'm making do with what I've got. So for all of these drawings, I'm looking at references of Vi from Arcane and trying to recreate them to the best of my abilities, but in my style. I was really trying to focus on my line work since I've been trying to develop this more this art style that heavily deals with detail in the line art rather than the coloring aspect to it. And so Arcane is a really good study tool to provide good anatomy but like emphasize it in a way that's more so than realism. They all came out looking really good in the end, in my opinion, but I did, as you'll see, struggle pretty heavily on the head on the last piece, mostly because the details were really small, and I'm not quite good at like making things look detailed without having a lot of detail there, if that makes sense. So I ended up cutting it out in the end, and I still thought it looked good. I also did start to get pretty exhausted in the end because not only was I starting to get sick, but having to record while drawing makes my process a lot longer than it should be or usually takes, so I'm having to make adjustments with that and just learn to better manage my time and how to multitask with both the drawing and the videoing. So that'll come with time, but I'll just have to deal with it for now and keep going. League of Legends, which if you didn't already know, is the game that Arcane's lore is based around, was actually one of my biggest inspirations for growing as an artist. I've always looked at their artwork and been like, wow, one day I would love to be at that level because it's just so good. Like you can tell these people who make these, their artwork are professionals who went to school for art and all that. And I sadly have never been able to go to art school and don't think I probably will unless I magically get thousands of dollars out of nowhere and we pay all our bills. But yeah, their art style has always inspired me a ton, and one day I hope to be that good. Maybe in like a decade from now, but still just one day it would be great to be able to be like, wow, I can do that. I also have loved seeing other artists doing the same thing where they're doing studies on Arcane and implementing it into their art style, and just seeing how it makes their art look, and just being able to do more studies really helps your art grow and develop into something that you really love and that you can share with others and then they can really love. And that's something that I have been hoping to do with this whole thing. I really like the detail that Arcane puts into their show, and I want to be able to add more detail, obviously, like I said, into my line art. So studying Arcane has really helped with seeing like the little things that you wouldn't see in like a reference of like an actual person that I would usually be using. It's actually pretty funny because for the longest time, I really did not like 3D art. And it was mainly because it didn't feel like art. I mean, obviously, not to diminish the work that people have put into 3D art, but like a lot of these shows really tried to bounce off of the success of Disney and kind of just make all of theirs try to look like Disney, but then it wouldn't have like, they obviously didn't have the budget that Disney had, so it would look kind of lifeless, because if you don't do 3D art well, then it'll look very stiff and come across as, very dull, and they just made it all try to look like Disney, and that's not fun when all the art is the same and it's clearly done for the purpose of, oh, this big company looks like this, so we're gonna copy it and hopefully have the same success. And I guess from like a business standpoint, it's a good idea, but from an artistic standpoint, it's boring and it lacks depth and creativity. And that's something that I really hated for a while, because so many animations would do that kind of thing, and there was no like differing factors to it. There weren't any stylizations or anything, so it was a little, I didn't like it. And I'm not sure how like factual this is, but I feel like when the Spider-Man multiverse movies came out, that really made a shift in the 3D art space and created this whole like movement where people were trying to actually make 3D art creative and stand out from others and kind of be like the Spider-Man movies. And so that really changed it for me, where I was like, oh, so 3D art can be good looking and it can be stylized, which I didn't know because I've never done 3D art. So I'm like, why does it all look like this? Is it just how 3D art is, or are people just not doing it? And the answer was that people just weren't putting style into the 3D art, and I feel like they either weren't giving artists like the free will to do it, or they just weren't doing it because it's easier to make something that looks like Disney and it'll make them more money. I don't know, but do you guys agree or disagree? Just let me know, because this is something that I've thought for a while, and I've for the longest time not liked 3D art because of this. And so I haven't really spoken to other artists about it. I've spoken to like my family or my friends about it, but I haven't really spoken to other artists about it. So I would love to know you guys' opinions on that. Additionally, I'd love to know you guys' opinions on the show Arcane as a whole. Like, I really enjoyed it, especially the second season. I wasn't a huge fan of the first one. I mean, I thought it was good, but it didn't like hook me in any way, and I feel like that's an opinion that's in the minority, because I know a lot of people loved the first season. I'm not sure about like the consensus on the second season. I know that I really liked it, especially the last 3 episodes. Those were super good. But yeah, I really liked the second season. And it made me want to draw all the characters. I've already done 3 drawings since finishing the show, and I think I finished it like a week ago. I've also already watched the second season twice, partly because I was watching it while I was drawing, and so I kind of just had it in the background, but still, like, I mean, I would count that as watching it twice, but I really enjoyed it, clearly. And I'm not even much of a show person in the first place. I really like a show and I won't finish it because I just forget about it often because it takes so long to finish. But so I have a lot of shows that are on my back burner. Like I'm like, I gotta finish that, but just haven't because it takes so long, and I usually just end up like listening to music or watching YouTube while I draw. But I should probably finish all the shows that I mean to finish. Like Freren, I would love to finish Freren because it's such a good anime, and I just haven't finished it because even though I love it, it's a big time commitment, and I like it in Japanese, so I have to like sit down and really like dedicate my time to that. But I could watch it in the English because honestly the English does sound good, and I could just draw maybe something to do with Freren, and then it would inspire me to watch it. Because I do really want to finish that. I love that show. If anybody else loves it, let me know because it's so good. Oh, and as you'll see in the video, it's about to come up. This is where I was really struggling on the face, and I just ended up completely scrapping it. And I was like, I'll just draw the body instead. I kept it for a little bit, and I was like, I'll just go back to it in a second, and then maybe it'll develop and turn out better the second time I work on it. But it just ended up being a nuisance, so I just scrapped it completely. But overall, I think it came out really well still, and even without a head. But I really have been enjoying doing like working on muscles and all that because it just makes my art look better. Being able to draw anatomy properly, and muscles are a part of anatomy. And so it's been really helping and making my art look super nice. And I want to draw more people with muscles, like men and women. And then being able to like work off of that, and just figuring out how the body looks and making my art look as believable as possible and not like anything crazy. Like a muscle being like way higher or lower than it needs to be. And thankfully Arcane is really good at drawing muscles. So I can study off of what they do and see how to make my art better, and that's just basically what today's video has been all about. And just learning how to make my art better in any way possible, because obviously that's the end goal of, I'd say, most artists. And making your art anatomically correct always helps. But yeah, the sketch is almost complete, and I'm just finishing a few details. But I really hope you guys enjoyed watching me do my Arcane study, and maybe I inspired you to do that yourself as well. Let me know if there's any specific videos you'd like to see me do, or if you like this format better than my last video. I'm actually currently working on another format you'll see here soon. You can actually see like me actively drawing with my hand and and whatnot, but I really like that one personally the best out of all these. But that'll come hopefully on Valentine's Day. It's a cute little Jinx and Echo piece that I did, and I really hope you guys enjoy that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys next time. God bless, and have a lovely rest of your day.